Hello and welcome to Slow Talk English, the podcast for learners who want to speak with more confidence and joy. I'm Lena, and I'm here to guide you step by step, day by day, towards speaking English more naturally. I'll speak slowly and clearly so you can follow along and repeat with me. Welcome, everyone. 5 months ago, I couldn't speak even one full sentence in English, not even, "How are you?" without overthinking. I was completely lost. Today, I want to tell you how I learned English in just 5 months, without expensive classes, without going to an English-speaking country, and without wasting time on useless methods. But this isn't only my story, it's your story too. If you've ever felt frustrated, stuck, or embarrassed because of your English, keep watching. Because I was exactly where you are. And I promise, if you listen to my journey step by step, you'll know exactly how to improve your English. So let's go back to the beginning, because my journey didn't start with motivation. It started with a big failure that changed my life, the moment everything shifted. I had always wanted to work for an international company. My dream job was to become a software engineer at a big tech company. I loved coding. I was good at it. I worked day and night to be the best. Finally, after years of hard work, I got my chance. I applied for a huge company in the US. The recruiter emailed me, "Congratulations, you are selected for an interview." I was so excited. I imagined my new life in a new country, earning a great salary, working with amazing people. But then the interview happened. I remember it like it was yesterday. I opened Zoom. 3 interviewers appeared, all native English speakers. They started talking, and it felt like someone had pressed fast forward on their voices. I couldn't understand a thing. Then one of them asked, "Lena, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your experience in software development?" I panicked. I knew the answer in my mind, but the words wouldn't come out. I said, yes, I do coding, many projects, good. I am very good." They stared at me. The silence cut like a knife. They asked another question, but I couldn't answer that either. At the end, one smiled and said, "All right, Lena, thank you for your time." I knew what that meant. I had failed, not because I wasn't good enough at my job, but because I couldn't speak English. That day, I understood the power of English. It wasn't just a language, it was the key to my dream. And I didn't have that key. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, angry at myself. For years, I told myself, "I don't need English. I'll just be good at my job. That'll be enough." But that night, I saw the truth. Without English, I was invisible. So I made a decision. I would learn English, and I would learn it fast. Most people, when they start learning English, do one thing first. They pay for expensive courses. But I didn't. Why? Because I had already tried them before, and they didn't work. A year ago, I paid for an online class. The teacher made me memorize vocabulary lists, study grammar rules, and do boring exercises. But after 3 months, when I tried to speak, I still couldn't. So I knew expensive classes weren't the answer. If I wanted to learn fast, I needed something different, a system that worked in real life. And that's when I created my 5-month method, which I'll share with you step by step. Part 1. The first 15 days. The biggest mistake beginners make is thinking they need more words. I thought the same. I believed if I learned 1,000 words, I'll be fluent. But I already knew hundreds, and I still couldn't speak. So for the first 15 days, I didn't study any new words. Instead, I did something far more powerful. I learned how to use the words I already knew. Here's exactly what I did. Step 1. I made a survival sentence list. I sat down and asked, what do I actually need to say every day? I wrote 50 simple sentences I needed in real life. For example, "Hi, how are you? Can you repeat that? I don't understand. I am learning English. I need a coffee, please." Every morning, I read those 50 sentences out loud. Not once, not twice, 10 times. At first, my tongue felt slow, but after 5 days, the sentences became automatic. Step 2. I started talking to myself in English every single day. This was one of the most powerful habits I built. Whenever I was alone, I spoke in English. In the shower, I said, "I'm taking a shower. The water is hot. I feel relaxed." When I cooked breakfast, I said, "I'm making eggs. I like eggs. They're easy to cook." At first, I felt silly, but then I realized this was my private classroom. No one could hear me, no one could judge me. And in just a week, my brain started thinking in English. Step 3. I practiced 5 sentences a day, but with a twist. Each day, I chose 5 real sentences from movies or conversations. I didn't just read them, I copied them exactly. I repeated each one 10 times, matching the same emotion, speed, and tone as the native speaker. This fixed my accent and made me sound more natural. By the end of the first 15 days, something changed. I stopped translating in my head. I could speak short sentences without thinking. I felt more confident. But that was only the beginning. Part 2. The real practice begins. After 15 days of fixing my biggest mistake, I was ready for the next level. I could say basic sentences without thinking, and I finally felt confident. But it wasn't enough. I didn't just want short sentences, I wanted real conversations. I wanted to understand native speakers without translating in my mind. I wanted to speak fluently. So I made a new plan, one that would change everything. If you follow it, you'll improve faster than you ever thought possible. I realized something important. When I tried to speak English, my brain was slow. I knew the words, but I couldn't connect them quickly. I needed a way to make speaking feel natural. That's when I started using a method I now call the question-answer method. It's simple, but incredibly powerful. Here's how it works. Thank you for spending your time with me here on Slow Talk English. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and keep learning with us, one slow, steady step at a time. Keep going. Every word you practice brings you closer to confidence.